Hello, my name is Kaylee and I'll be hiking the Appalachian Trail this March. I wanted to review my big three, which typically are your backpack, your shelter, and your sleep system. And these tend to be a little bit of your heavier items and also your pricier items. The biggest factor when selecting these items was definitely weight without sacrificing comfort too much, and I also didn't want to spend too much money. I'll list out the weights of everything and the price, the retail price here, and then I'll recap it at the end. The first of the big three that I got was my backpack, and this is a ZPacks Call. It is 62 liters, 48 of those liters are the main body, 8 is the mesh part, which actually holds quite a bit, and then the two side pockets are 2.5 liters each. This pack was definitely one of the pricier items of my entire gear, but I was very, very fortunate to receive this as a 30th birthday present last year. So I only spent money on the accessories, which I'll show you in a minute. My previous pack was an Osprey, which was 4 pounds. So this is definitely an area where I saved weight. This one only is about 23 ounces, so 1.5 pounds. The reason why I went with this pack instead of other ultralight packs are a couple different reasons. One is it has an external frame, which I really like, so you can still get airflow in between your back and the pack. And the way that you get the arc is you just pull down on your pack and then you tighten the straps. And as you can see, you have a lot of space between you and the actual backpack because I get quite sweaty and I didn't want to have like a swamp back. Probably the biggest reason why I went with the ZPacks is that you can change out the belt yourself. I'm a little bit of a curvier person, so if I lose inches in my waist, I didn't want to, one, have a backpack that didn't fit, and then two, have to buy an entire backpack just because the belt was too big. So I really like that feature of it, and down the road, if I need it, I can just get a smaller size belt. Another feature of this pack that I like is the fabric. It's made out of grid-stop Dyneema, and it's pretty water resistant. I've taken it into a couple different rainstorms, and nothing inside has ever gotten wet. I will be using a pack liner though, just in case. I also really like how simple it is. It only has the one body and then just a couple pockets, which is really all I need. Anything that I need immediately, I'll put in this outside pocket, and then I'll have a water bottle and tent stakes on the other side. With ZPacks, you can customize your bag quite a bit and get accessories for it. They do have loops that you could connect different things on the straps and also on the hip belts. A lot of people will add side pockets to the hip belt. Instead, I liked the idea of a fanny pack. I like this because when you don't have your backpack on and you're in town, you can just carry your fanny pack instead of having all your gear with you. Also, instead of using the belt that comes with the fanny pack, you can connect it to the actual belt loops of your pack. On the inside of your fanny pack, they have the clips, and then you can just connect these clips in here. So you have that other option as well. Another accessory that I did get was a water bottle holder. I am missing it right now, but I'll show you a clip here of me using it. I really like it because I don't like reaching down in my side every time I need water. I just like having it right here. So that's very convenient. And I got that from ZPacks as well. With this pack, you can order it in a bunch of different colors. Originally, I wanted the black, but I accidentally got the orange. And I would highly recommend getting the orange because during hunting season, it came in very, very handy. Overall, I really do like this pack. If there was anything that I could change, I do wish the Call series would come in one size smaller. I feel like the small works best for like a smaller man, but women who are 5'3" and shorter could benefit from an extra small, so just a little bit shorter in the frame. One other thing I struggle with a little bit, and I need to work this out as I'm on the trail, is I'll have my water bottle here on the strap and then one on the other side in the side pocket to counterbalance the weight. But once I've drank quite a bit out of this water bottle, my pack will start to lean a little bit. And the easy fix is just putting the water from this over here, but sometimes that gets kind of annoying, so I just need to figure that out as I go. So overall, I'm really happy with this, and I'm excited to use it on the Appalachian Trail. For my shelter, I'll be bringing the Big Agnes Tiger Wall Ultralight 3. I will be splitting this with my boyfriend. A lot of times with the Ultralight 2-person tents, there's not a lot of space if you have 2 people in there. So Justin and I wanted to do a 3-person tent. One, because we have wide sleeping pads, and that basically takes up the whole footprint of the tent. And then also we wanted to keep our packs in the tent, so there still is room to put them at the edge of our feet. So with our wide pads, we both have the same one. There's a couple inches on each side of us. The reason why we decided on a 2-wall tent instead of a 1-wall tent, which are typically lighter, is one, condensation. Because you have 2 walls, it doesn't get as wet inside of your tent. And I move around a lot, so I didn't want my sleeping bag rubbing against the walls and getting the down wet. Another reason is we like the idea of not always using the fly, especially on nicer nights, but you don't want to get ticks or mosquitoes attacking you. So it'll be nice not to have the fly, but still be able to look at the sky. Another thing I do like about the Tiger Wall is that it has entrances on each side of the tent. Justin and I both like the idea of having our own entrance, so we don't have to climb over each other every night, so that'll make us both happy. It's also really easy to set up. It only takes us a couple of minutes. A couple of things that I don't love is that it's not 100% freestanding. You do have to stake down one side, and if you don't do it tight enough, it will kind of cave in on the sides of the tent. And a big annoyance for most people who have Big Agnes tents are the zippers get stuck really easy. I think it's because the fabric is so thin, the nylon, that it just catches. It's a little bit annoying, but not a huge deal breaker, obviously, since this is what we went with. One thing that I want to get better at on the trail is rolling up the vestibule side in the mornings, because they get really wet overnight, and when I roll them up, I end up getting wet from them. That's something that I need to practice over these 2,200 miles, is rolling up the vestibule side without getting wet. So wish me luck. The tent does not come with a footprint. You can buy it separately, or what we did is we got a piece of Tyvek. My dad is a carpenter, so just got this for free. Love free. It's very durable, and it weighs about the same as what the footprint that is made for the tent weighs. That's pretty nice there. Since there will be 2 of us utilizing this tent, we're going to split up the weight. I will carry the footprint and the poles and stakes. And then Justin is going to carry the fly and the actual tent. We did learn that the stuff sack is not waterproof, so he's going to be putting this in a waterproof stuff sack and just having this on the outside of his pack. For my sleep system, I was really debating between a quilt and a sleeping bag. Sleeping bag because I am a really cold sleeper, and a quilt because I'm a side sleeper and I toss and turn around at night. I ended up going with a quilt because I like the idea of in the summer you can spread it out like a blanket. And I also kind of get really claustrophobic in a sleeping bag, so that's another reason why I ended up going with a quilt. Another reason why people would choose a quilt over a sleeping bag is when you're using your sleeping bag and you have the down in between you and your pad, you're smushing it, so it's no longer insulating you, and it's just added weight that you don't need to carry. For my quilt, I was deciding between Enlightenment Equipment and UGQ. I ended up going with UGQ for 2 reasons. 1, it was a little bit cheaper, and 2, the review said it's a little bit warmer than them as well. I went with the 950 downfill. I did add an ounce of stuffing in the foot box. I went with the wider foot box, and it's closed. It does have 2 buttons where you can cinch it up a little bit more on your feet. I also chose to go with a side cinch option, which is here on the inside. You can tighten this. And then it curves a little bit around your body. I did go with the regular length, so when it's colder out, I can put it over my head. I have tested this quilt out a couple times already in about 20 degrees and 10 degrees. I will say I did get cold when it was 10 degrees out, especially my feet, even with the over stuff. So I did get down booties, and I'm hoping that will help that situation. And when it's really cold out, you can attach your quilt to your sleeping pad. So you put this bungee cord around your pad, and then it has these hooks at the end that can slide. And then the quilt itself has little hooks that you can just insert inside, and it'll stay attached to your pad. And it has 3 of these hooks down the side, so you don't have any drafts on the side of you. For my sleeping pad, I have the Nemo Tensor Insulated Regular Wide. There are definitely lighter pads that you can get, but one, I wanted a wide pad because I do roll over quite a bit. And I liked that it was insulated. It has about a 3.7 R value, I believe. So it does also come with a pump sack, which is very convenient because the last thing that you want to do after hiking 15 miles is have to spend a lot of energy blowing up your sleeping pad. And this you only have to fill up about 3 or 4 times. And it's really easy to use. You're just 6 inches away. You blow in, and then you roll it up. Jess and I both have the same sleeping pad, so we only are going to bring one of these. One tip I would suggest is if you are going with a partner, it's very nice to have the same sleeping pad as them, because then they can be on the same level and you can push them together. And these are rectangles, so they're not mummied shaped, so they fit like one big air mattress, which makes for cozy nights. It does fill up to about 3 inches, which is nice if you're a side sleeper, so then your hips don't hurt as much. I just would suggest not filling it up all the way. I will say, even though it is a higher R value than most sleeping pads out there, if it is colder than 20 degrees out, I do get a little cold, so I solved that issue by getting a sleeping liner. So this adds 20 degrees to your sleeping bag or quilt. And I find it most helpful because my sleeping pad doesn't get cold. It's a barrier between me and the sleeping pad. Here it is in all its glory. It is a short, but Justin is 6 feet tall and he also has a short, and it works perfect for him. That's everything for my big 3. I will be posting a full gear video soon, so if you want to subscribe below, stay tuned for that. Bye. Yeah, you can see it. Very fortunate. Words are hard.